As America continues to decline on the world stage under one-party rule in D.C., many people are asking, how did we get here in such a short time? Well, joining us now at the big screen is Church Militant award-winning investigative reporter Michael Voris to talk about the puppet master behind the Democrats' leftist agenda. And it's not who you think it is. That and more in tonight's Daily Beat.
All right, hello and welcome to the Daily Beat. Thanks for that rousing introduction there, James. I'm your host, Michael Voris, as our host. Kicking off the very first Daily Beat today, the most political conservatives know the name George Soros. He's the big bad wolf, obviously, of the Democratic political machine. But here is a guy you don't know. Swiss billionaire Hans-Georg Wyss. He's not an American citizen, although he does have a palatial spread in Wyoming. And yet he is the one man who we can lay blame on our America's current energy policy for the emphasis on dumping fossil fuels. It's this guy right here. How? How do you ask that? It's a good question. When we talk about relationships, perhaps the key relationship that almost no one knows about is the decades-long one between Wyss, right here, and a leading Democrat by the name of John Podesta. Podesta is a fake Catholic and has been a fixture in Democratic circles for years. He was Bill Clinton's White House chief of staff in the 1990s. When Bush won and the Democrats went into political exile in the early 2000s, it was Podesta who drew up the plans for a new Marxist think tank that he called the Center for American Progress. Now, according to a biography by Wyss's sister, Wyss was in on the ground floor of that center, brought in personally by Podesta because he used to work for him at a private foundation even before his years with Clinton. So they go way back, and I mean way back. So Wyss helped fund the Center for American Progress at its inception, owing to that long relationship with Podesta. What the center did, among many things, was to undermine church teaching and destabilize Catholic voters in the 2008 election. A majority of them voted for Obama, by the way. That little tidbit about destabilizing the Catholic vote, that little piece of information came out in the 2016 campaign in the form of the WikiLeaks dumps. All you politicos out there, remember the WikiLeaks dumps pouring in all those emails by the hundreds of thousands? Podesta got back into the White House under Obama, and in 2013, with the encouragement of Wyss, get this now, he got Obama to make the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge off limits for oil and gas exploration. Wyss is on record as saying preventing governments, and by that he means America, from using land and oceans for energy production is a major priority to him. In 2018, get this again, he donated $1 billion, that's with a B, $1 billion to his Wyss Foundation for land conservation. And he told the New York Times he set up his foundation, get this now, specifically to be a rival source of influence to the United States government. This guy is about as anti-American as you could possibly get, trying to undermine our energy policy with Podesta's help going way back. Without a doubt, his point man in D.C. is John Podesta. Again, he's a fake Catholic who made undermining the Catholic vote a major priority of his Center for American Progress. It's through Podesta that Wyss has been able to dictate U.S. energy policy under Biden, and we're going to show you how right now. Check this out. You all remember the failed Build Back Better plan with its $3.9 trillion price tag that blew Biden into town on? Well, that got blown up by Democratic Senator Joe Manchin. He said, we can't spend that kind of money. That's insane. So what they did is they went back to the drawing board, Nancy and Chuck and all of them, and they resurrected that and called it the Inflation Reduction Act. That price tag was just $1.2 trillion. We can handle that budget. Of that $1.2 trillion, most people don't realize this, that's the single largest amount. Inside that, $370 billion went for climate change. Has nothing to do with reducing inflation. $370 billion. Well, that little pot of money needed managing. And who did Biden tap? Drum roll, John Podesta. John Podesta. How did this come to be that the Build Back Better plan was brought back to life in a reduced form as the Inflation Reduction Act? And what's his face, Wyss, have to do with all this? Well, here's how this happened. In short, Democratic lawmakers introduced the Inflation Reduction Act, again, as a backup to the BBB. They did this because of money donated to their campaigns from a group called Climate Power. Who's Climate Power? Well, digging deeper, Climate Power was funded by another group called Fund for a Better Future. Well, who are those? Fund for a Better Future received its funding from yet another group called the Burger Action Fund. Now, hold up for a second here, guys. Notice this flow. Burger is funds Build for Better, Fund for Better Future, funds Climate Power, gives money to Democratic congressmen who introduced the Inflation Reduction Act. Well, what does all this got to do with those guys? Because this group, Burger, is founded by, drumroll please, Weiss. So this is his track of money to get the Inflation Reduction Act into Congress and signed. And once that happens, that $380 billion has to be managed by somebody, and of course, it's his longtime friend. So stepping back, big picture now, it was Weiss who single-handedly, through this whole series of dark money little contributions and groups, got Democrats to pass a slimmed-down version of Build Back Better, calling it, of course, hiding its name as the Inflation Reduction Act. Then, through his money, he got his man, Podesta, placed in charge of a third of $1 trillion U.S. tax dollars to destroy U.S. energy policy and cripple the nation. So we're all going on about gas prices and all that, all this stuff that we experience and we see on a personal level in grocery stores and at the gas pump and all that. You say, oh, it's Biden, Biden, Biden. You want to know why you're being screwed at the pump? Don't blame Biden. Blame the fake Catholic Podesta and his enviro-crazy Swiss multi-billionaire longtime friend. Podesta goes back through three previous Democratic administrations, Clinton, Obama, and now Biden. And Weiss has been with him every step of the way, funding and controlling all of it from behind the scenes. So, guys, there you have it. That's why your gas prices are so high, because of him.